So a lot of people have been wondering what Beanie Sigel thinks about the whole Drake versus Meek Mill rap beef, and then AR getting involved, and he dissed Meek Mill, and both of them are from Philly. And basically, in so many words, it seems as if Meek Mill kind of gave AR an open invitation to come, do what he has to do, I guess you could say. And back in the 90s, there used to be a saying, in so many words, people would say, I'm not one of these rap dudes, or I ain't one of these rap cats, or whatever, right? Basically, when you were a real street dude, you would let the rappers know, like, look, man, stay in your freaking lane. If shit pops off between me and you, it's going to be me and somebody in your entourage, because I ain't one of these fucking rappers. It'll be somebody in the entourage that just came fresh out of jail, and they'll get it popping with them, whether it's with the fist, or the razors come out, or them burners. Somebody has to get popped or whatever. So anyways, long story short, Beanie Sigel posted a message on social media explaining what he thinks about the whole AR rap versus Meek Mill thing specifically. Now, he mentions Drake in the post, but basically the gist of what he's telling you is this: AR rap and Meek Mill is going to end up with somebody dying. And not only is it going to end up with somebody dying, it's going to be somebody in the entourage, whether it's Drake's entourage, Meek Mill's entourage, AR-Ab's entourage, or, somebody who's not a rapper. Even though AR-Ab, just like Beanie Sigel, is a thug and a rapper, they're part of that small crew who actually do both. Beans has really fucked people up real bad. I don't know if you ever caught a body, but Beanie Sigel has really fucked people up. Like Kanye West told some story years ago about how some people were fucking with him somewhere like the Waffle House or somewhere out like that, and Beans had like I forget what type of gun, it was like a Mac 10, a Mac 11. I think it was some sort of automatic on his ass. But anyways, yeah, Beans is ready to get it popping if he has to. But anyways, this is what he said on social media, and I quote, "Now that I got your attention, I think a lot of you are misrepresenting what I'm saying. See this thing bigger than Nino Brown. First and foremost, who really care about Meek and Drake rap beef? The whole situation gay. Meek said what he said, and Drake did what he did. Bottom line." Wait, pause the story. You trying to say that Drake won the battle? He did what he did? Anyway, I'm not choosing sides and none of this shit. For one, I can care less. Plus, it's none of my business. I know. Why would Meek care if Drake didn't write his own shit? I don't know. I'm going to still bang Drake shit just like everybody else is, because nobody cares, point blank. I know. Why would Meek diss AR? I don't know. Wow, I know. Why would... Am I reading this wrong? Maybe I'm the dumb one. Anyways, let me go back to what he's saying. You have to choose your battles carefully and be prepared for the outcome, good or bad. But this about to move somewhere else beyond rap. Quote, "A wise man don't learn from his own mistakes. He learns from the mistakes of others. I told y'all," quote, "I go through it so you wouldn't do it after me," end quote. Now pause the story again. That's my philosophy. I've never believed in learning from my own mistakes. I'd rather just watch other people be stupid and fall flat on their face. That's always been my philosophy. Anyway, back to what Mr. Beanie Sigel was saying. He said, somebody might die. Wow, did he really spell might? M-I-T-E? It's M-I-G-H-T, Beans. Oh my sweet Lord Jesus, somebody give this man a book. Anyways, somebody might die over this stupid shit. It won't be AR, Meek, or Drake. It's going to be one of the entourage. Somebody going to move out to prove their loyalty to something that's not loyal to them. Quote unquote stupidity. Somebody dies, somebody in jail for life over what? You'll be lucky if a ninja get a lawyer, send you some flicks and commissary money for a couple months. Good luck on that, dark-skinned Jermaine. But what do I know? I'm just a washed up rapper, right? Right. This the shit that happens when you turn your back on your people. You don't advise them on what's right. You don't tell them they acting like a sucker when they doing sucker shit. Advice to AR-Ab: don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe and sacrifice something or someone over this gay shit. Do your thing and get your money, homie. Advise, I guess he meant to say advice, to Meek Mill: tighten up your circle. Get them yes men from around you that's not going to keep it 100 when you make a bad decision. Because we all do at times. Quote unquote, gangsters fuck up. Jay said, quote, "It's a lesson learned even in defeat. I'm for my city, that all." But like I said, I ain't nobody, right? Right. Quit the bullshit. End quote. Yeah, I see where you're going with this, Beans. Basically what you're saying is that there's some real street dudes that are involved in this situation. And instead of seeing some young men get themselves shot the fuck up over basically nothing, why not just be cool? Why not just be cordial? Why not just ignore each other and get back to business? Because what are you in the music industry for? What do you have millions of dollars behind you for? Now, A.R.Ab might not be in the same situation that Meek Mill and Drake are. But however, he could be in a decent situation. He gets the right producers. He finds himself another Jalil Beats, you know, the guy who produced I'm a Boss. You know, for Meek Mill, he produced, I think he did Tupac's Back too. I know he did the Hot Ninja beat for Bobby Shmurda, which was of course Lloyd Banks' Jackpot, before Bobby Shmurda took over the beat and took it to the next level, not lyrically, but as far as fame and monetary compensation is concerned, because the record did pretty good for a street single or whatever. But anyways, the point is, if A.R.Ab finds the right producer over there in Philly, some up and coming cat from the block, mess around in his Fruity Loops and his MPC and his little keyboards and whatnot, and he's over there banging out beats, you know, in his bedroom, his basement, or whatever he's doing, a little studio up in the house or whatever. They put something together, get the right producer. A.R.Ab could potentially become a household name, not like Drake. I mean a household name like Meek Mill, or somewhere around that level of success, because, you know, Meek Mill does sell some sort of records. He's not some international superstar like a Nicki Minaj or Drake or Lil Wayne and Eminem, Kanye West, Jay-Z. People who are at the top of the game, J. Cole. He's not that big, but Meek Mill is definitely one of the biggest musicians in America, actually the world, technically. He's just not within that elite class. He's right at the level beneath that. So A.R.Ab could achieve a lot of success. He's got to keep his nose clean, stay out the streets, and find the right producer. But yeah, these guys beefing over nothing makes absolutely no sense. I never could understand why two people who, like I said this before recently in the video, and I had a talk with a family member about this, how two strangers meet up and they just automatically don't like each other. Now you might say, well, this is a little bit different because you're talking about people in people's entourages, and at least they know their man or whatever, and that's what it's about. But you got to understand something. If you don't freaking know the person that you're fighting with, trying to kill, or they're trying to kill you, like, to me, that's mind-boggling. You're two strangers. You don't have any personal vendetta with each other. And as far as the type of stuff that these guys are talking about, this is just some rap shit. Back in the day, it would have stayed on wax easily. But at the end of the day, Meek Mill is not that great of a rapper. And Meek Mill played his cards wrong. You know, I've been meaning to do this video. I'm going to have to take the time to do it. I'm going to explain to you in detail the real reasons why Meek Mill lost the beef with Drake. And I think a lot of people are going to be kind of shocked with what I'm going to say, because a lot of people put in their opinion, but I did not, you know, give my extended opinion on the subject. So I'm just going to have to make the time to make that video, because maybe to stop the next rapper from making the same mistakes that Meek Mill did. But anyways, let me know what you think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com for more.